How we doing? How we doing, people? How we doing? How we doing? It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. You feel me? It's raining out here. The neighbor has planted some foods to grow out here. Feel me? Some tomatoes, some green peppers, some cucumbers. I put some calabaza, wild squash ahí. But you know, we're here. We're in the laboratory, in the library. We have, I don't know how many days in the quarantine. Started the day off as positive as possible. You get me? We don't have all the right answers. We don't have all the answers. We don't have all the solutions to the thousands and millions of problems that are affecting us, humanity as a whole, but we are in the process of coming up with solutions, you feel me, of being better versions of ourselves. It's not simple, it's not easy, but it is possible. Like it's possible. We don't have to continue being these false ideas, right? We don't have to continue living lives as we have been for the thousands of years that we have. I just read a post which was fucking crazy, right? Because of the way that it read, and it was speaking about the 40, how the number 40 is important in scriptures. You right? In scriptures, it said like, Jesus fasted for 40 days. The flood lasted 40 days, or 40 years, and like it just kept going into this 40, right? And then it was like, 2020. When you add 20 and 20, that's 40, right? It was talking about how this quarantine possibly end on the 1st of May, and how it started on the 23rd of March, and how all those numbers add up to 40, and how 40 represents change, right? The number of change. And it was like, this is crazy, right? Because a lot of the stuff that, like, a lot of people don't believe in religion. They don't believe in the occult. They don't believe in magic, and that's okay. That's understandable. I mean, we've been living under a system that has caused us to kind of like doubt all that stuff, to lack the capacity to think critically, to think outside the box. So it's understandable, right? We can't get hard on those individuals that don't trust life, that don't trust other individuals' way of thinking, right? And it's okay. Everybody's open. Everybody has to be open to doubt, and if they do expect to believe anything. But at the same time, just because you don't know something, just because you don't understand something, doesn't mean that you should doubt it because of that. Because that just shows that's just straight up ignorance, right? That stops us from learning anything. If we only believe what we can see, then it kind of makes it hard for us to believe the unseen, believe that we can become more than what we are right now, and it's hard. Me coming on and making these videos, it's not simple. I often don't know what exactly I'm gonna talk about. I don't have a topic in mind, and often when I think about writing down topics that I would like to speak on, I forget. It's easy to even push it to the side as it's like, it doesn't matter. But it does matter. It does matter because it provides a platform, right? If I wanted to come on and talk on a specific subject in a specific way, I would be better equipped to do it if I did plan ahead. And that is good. But then at the same time, I'm not wrong for not having a specific topic to come and speak on, right? Because by not having a pre-planned agenda on what to speak on, I can come on and speak from my heart, from the spirit, from the soul, right, from my consciousness. um I can I provide myself with with the means to kind of express myself um as well as I can, and speaking on subjects that I otherwise wouldn't speak on if I had already an agenda for what I was going to speak on, right? So, yo, as I was reading this, it just made so much sense, and it goes right into what I was speaking about yesterday. I was speaking on how everything that's going on today, um, it ties into what we see in the Bible. It ties into what we see in the Quran, in the Torah, right? And from the Old Testament to the New Testament, it all ties in, and it is not, and it doesn't do that because, oh, people were able to see the future. No, it's just what happens if any of you out there, right, that watch this video, or that don't watch it but that start writing out, right, if you any of you start prophesizing, because you have the clarity, right, you have the awareness, and you can see what's going on in the world, and you can kind of prophesize based on what you see, based on the technological advances, based on the food, on the way that our food is grown, on the way that we carry ourselves and that we conduct ourselves towards other humans, and towards animals, and towards nature, and towards life itself, right? Towards our spirit, towards our minds, towards our bodies. If you were somebody that was that observant and had the capacity to think critically at a level that would allow you to like get a big picture of things, you would be able to prophesize and come up with scenarios and outcomes that could take place 10, 20, 30, 50, even 100 years from now, up to 200 years from now. You can prophesize just based on what you're seeing today. You would be able to accurately prophesize 100, 200, up to 300 years from now on what could be the outcome and the reality that humans would be living in that alternate reality that you have prophesized for. And other people would do the same, and you would all come up with different scenarios of what would happen, of what would be the paradigm that is governing that reality that you guys are prophesizing into. That's why George Orwell and Al let me see if I get his name right, Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley, exactly. This is why individuals like George Orwell, Aldous Huxley, what's that other that Greek individual that prophesized a whole bunch of shit? I forgot his name. But even dudes from the Bible, from scriptures. This is why these individuals were able to come up with such compelling stories and possible outcomes for humanity, because they had the capacity to critically think and be able to come up with these things. And these individuals were probably, you feel me, people that really focused on developing themselves, and that for after focusing on developing themselves over the years, they obtained the capacity to think at a level that would facilitate to them the intelligence necessary for them to come up with the scenarios that they came up with. It takes a lot of like mindfulness, like a lot of self-awareness to be able to think in this way. It takes a lot of like you working on yourself, and today that's what we're lacking, man. We're lacking individuals that are willing to sacrifice their own creature comforts to bring to the world something better, and to make of themselves someone better. so that the life that they end up living and the life that the people in their lives end up living is a lot better than the life that they had coming up, that they become better examples that they didn't have for those that they have around them, and they wished for, right? Like become what you wish that you had, and give what you wish you were given, and be who you wish you could be, or wish somebody that was around you was. Don't expect for somebody else to come and do it for you, or to give you what you didn't have. And this is, I guess this is one of the good things about not having an agenda, right, to speak on. I get to speak openly and spit out information that appeals and that is of value to more than one group of people. And it goes back to this 40 days. It goes back to this one individual that so many of us are so fucking quick to judge, or not even to judge, because we can't judge that person negatively, but to criticize a lot of the things that came out, and to criticize how certain individuals speak about this individual. You feel me? Jesus the Christ, right? Some people are all caught up in the semantics, in the wording, in what was his name or who he really was, because they are unwilling to walk the path. They're unwilling to walk that righteous path, yo. And that path is not a simple one. It is not a simple one. It requires a lot of mindfulness of self, so that we can be more mindful for these little people that are around us, the ones that learn from us.
Okay, Joan. Ahora, what in my status or between all of these three? ¿Cuál es el que me corresponde de todo y todo eso?
¿Qué es lo que te está llenando?
La información privada del trabajo, que yo la tenía, no se había dado cuenta que estaba vacía.
Está separated, I guess.
Y entonces, ¿qué hacemos con el que tengo allá en el cuarto?
Ustedes no están casados.
Sí, pero si cualquier cosa pasa, volvamos para atrás.
Tú te le puedes poner como te quieras. Si tú no quieres poner separated, ponle partner.
Ah, porque quieran decir que partner es como cuando uno vive con una persona del mismo sexo.
No siempre.
Ah.
A mí ahora mismo aceptan homosexualidad y toda esa vaina, porque usted se puede casar con...
¿Qué cuento? No te cuento de José. Si le llega a pasar y yo tengo que faltar al trabajo, no me pagan si yo no lo tengo puesto ahí.
Then I don't know what to tell you, ma.
¿Qué quiere decir la última?
Widowed. That means your husband died.
Ay, no, todavía no.
But yeah, man, it's not simple. It's not simple walking this path. It's not simple. It's not simple accepting, or it is simple, right? But it's not easy for some people to accept that they're wrong. You feel me? To accept that that is their responsibility. To fix the problems, to find solutions for their life, to be a good example to these little people that we have around us. You have to really become very self-aware. And this individual, man, this individual that today in this 20th century we know as Jesus, you feel me? He developed that Christly essence in him. He developed that righteous, Christly, conscious way of being. Sorry about that. You feel me? But this individual, he took his time. He was 33, right? He was 33 when what happened to him when he passed on, and he was 33 when he came back, right? And it's crazy because, right, that 33 is vitally important in our life, right? We have 33 vertebrates. I don't freaking know, but in the occultic setting, 33 is a very meaningful number. I don't have all the answers, but I have enough information to like kind of relate a coherent message to the public, to where they could go on and do their own deeper research and get the understanding that they need to get the understanding of, based on on their own perspective and how they view this reality, right? We all have different perceptions and perspective on life. And so yeah, you this individual, yo, he was 33. He did the whole 40-day fast. He was in the wilderness for however long. Like I said, I don't know the full story of the guy, but it is a good example. It's a good example. His story, his message is a good example to follow, and is a good example to look into, right? If we're having a lot of problems in our life, especially us men, right? Why? Because this masculine and this feminine energy, it manifests more powerfully in men. Why? Because we are the physical material manifestation of this masculine, positive, directed energy. Women are the physical manifestations of the feminine aspect. They still have the masculine, the man, the positive in them, but they are the physical manifestation of that negative, of that creative, of that feminine, female aspect of nature, of life. You feel me? The sun, earth, male, female. You feel me? The soil and the seed. Like, we're all one, and the sooner we become aware of our godly nature, of that Christly essence in us, that divine intelligence that is always trying to guide us on a better path than we usually end up taking, right? Out of wants, out of how we feelings, out of pleasures, out of urges, out of impulses. Because at the same time, yo, we have to understand that we are the human animal. I don't give a fuck what you think, who it was that came here from space 3,600 years away through space and created us. That is not. I don't think that is relatively meaningful. To other people, it may be different. To other people, these stories, these Anunnaki, these extraterrestrial stories about beings that existed hundreds of thousands of years ago and created us and made us what we are today, and the Egyptian story and all that crazy yo, it makes sense, and it made sense to me, and it helped me understand a lot of it. It helped me put a lot of what it is that's going on today and life into perspective, and I look forward to understanding those things a little deeper. But at the same time, yo, we have to understand that we already have examples that we should be following, but which we choose not to follow out of, like, you feel me, out of wants, out of feeling not like we fucking want to do it, you feel me, of just being guided and allowing ourselves and our life to be guided by our will, our lack of willpower, more to be more direct with it, right? Our lack of willpower. We literally go through life, and we never, most of us, about 95 to 98% of the human population will die never having attempted to become masters of their will. And that is where most of our power lies, in our will, in our ability to make ourselves do what we need to do, not just what we want to or feel like doing. Like, our willpower will determine if we become all that we have come here to become, or if we just come through life and instead of becoming a great oak tree, we just grow to be a bush or a nuisance of a weed that people just pick out and just throw it away. We have that. You can either be a bush or you can be a fruit-bearing tree. We all have that option. We have all been given that opportunity, and a lot of us, we choose to waste it because we feel, or we don't want to act responsible. We don't want to care. We don't want to show compassion. We want to avoid something. We're trying to avoid something that needs our attention, and because we can't will ourselves to attend to whatever we need, whatever needs our attention, we fall even further away of that example, of that image that this individual represented. And we become even shittier versions of ourselves that we don't even feel comfortable looking at the mirror, or having that image look back at you from the mirror, right? Because we're not happy, we're not comfortable with ourselves, we're not confident, we don't feel like we have authority over anything in life. We feel shameful because all that we have been doing is shameful acts, acting in a shameful manner, doing things in private that we don't expect out of others in their privacy. We've been living a life in private that when we step out into public, it is nothing like what we do in the privacy of our own mind and our own space. That is one of the greatest thing. Like, and this individual, man, this individual that we know as Jesus, you feel me? He developed that Christly essence in himself that all humans, that he said all humans have the potential to develop. That righteous consciousness that is always guiding us from the time that we are born to the time that we become teenagers and we start doing acts. We start doing selfish and self-indulging acts that go against our consciousness, and which we eventually shut out because of our desire to be indulging in certain things that don't bring us any benefit, that don't bring us any productivity, that are not diligent, that are not masterful of ours, that show no mastery in ourselves, right? That are not charitable, that are not kind, that are not tempered, that are not clarity and joy filled, and that are not like humbled and filled with vision. All these things all 7 things that I just named right there have to do with those 7 churches that this individual spoke of, and that is spoken of in scriptures from in every Abrahamic scripture. I'm just put it like that, Abrahamic scripture, from the Torah, the Old Testament, to the Christian faith, the New Testament, to the Catholic, to the Muslim, to the Buddhist, because the Buddhists all practice and they study all the 7 chakra systems and all the other Vedic sciences and wisdom that has to be offered, because all the cultures have the answers. Not any one group of people has the answers to it all. They're all the answers. And once you begin to look at all of them indiscriminately and openly, you feel me, open-heartedly, and asking questions, then you begin to see the truth. You begin to see the connections, and you begin to see how everything is like interconnected, and how you are all. And why this individual said, if you believe in me, like if you believe in my Father, like you believe in me, if you believe in the creator of all, if you believe in nature, in life, in existence, in Allah, in whatever you want to call it, if you believe in that essence, if you believe that essence is in you as well, and if you believe in it like you believe in me, then you will be able to do the things that I do and even greater things. Like, he may not have said it in the same way that I am saying it, but I'm just trying to bring a little more insight into the message that he was delivering. Like, I'm not even trying to change it. I'm not trying to make it my own. I'm trying to just let you know, like, this dude was saying that he was coming back. And maybe you took it as he was coming back as himself in that same body that he had 2, 3, however long ago it was that he existed. Man, the Christ is in each and every one of us, in each and every one human being that is walking around on this earth. And all that it takes is for each individual to become conscious that you must become that which you seek. You can't expect somebody else, and you can't expect for miracles and like witchcraft to bring it about. Like, nah, man, that's cheating. That's cheating. You have to become it. You can't go and cut a chicken's head or kill a lizard or cook a snake or do something or grab a whole bunch of rocks and start worshiping it like crazy and burning crazy things for something else to come about when you are the only I don't know why the video just paused, but yeah, man, like I have right. I'm wearing crystals. I just got this dope ass organ pyramid from a page on IG, and I wish I really knew the name so that I can bring it to you guys. I found this piece of rock in Dominican Republic. I think this is salt. I don't even know what kind of crystal it is, but I do it, man. I got some crystals. I got a nice little Buddha, right? I got crystals, and I'm over here talking about Jesus. I got a daggone rosary. I got a tatted on rosary. So like, I've had just as much doubt as a lot of you, but at the same time, I've also been a skeptic. And if some people may not think that magic is cheating. I don't fucking know. I don't have all the answers, right? I'm not perfect. I'm still a work. I'm a work and I'm a product. I'm a working product in action, right? So I'm still working to develop myself, and I mean, yo, I do my own. We that have become masterful over our own willpower. We practice our own sex, our own magic. But you know what's the thing that we don't go and or at least me myself, I don't go and try to sacrifice or try to make sigils and circles and stuff like that. And maybe this thing is okay, but at the same time, when I'm reading about these things, when I'm reading about occultic magic, and I'm seeing the sigils and the symbols and the attention, the meticulous attention that has to be practiced for these rituals to come about in the manner that they are supposed to come about, right? How King Solomon practiced them. Yo, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of sharing information. It takes you being a righteous individual and having righteous intentions in order for these magical things to happen, to come about in a righteous and in a good manner. But you know what? Not a lot of people have worked on themselves to develop themselves to become this type of person like this man Jesus was. You get me? Most would rather cheat. They would rather lie to themselves or lie to others, thinking that, I don't know, somehow that solves a problem. And yo, that just, speaking of that, it just brings me to what's happening today with a lot of these preachers, with a lot of these quote unquote priests, a lot of these so-called messengers of God, like Joel Osteen. Like, that's one individual that I listen to almost every day, because I feel like, yo, God blessed him with a gift. And not just him, but yo, T.D. Jakes, you know, Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, those are the only two my current preachers that I listen to today, that they are still alive. And it hurts, because these individuals, they speak about God, and then there's another piece of work out there. There's some white crazy dude that's just, I've seen him a few times on Knowledge Hoarders IG. He's posted a few of this guy, and every time I've seen this guy and watched him speak, it breaks my heart, because it really shows that all this that's going on today, all this coronavirus, this augmentation of artificial intelligence, of being thrown in the air, these chemtrails, right? This 5G technology, this 30, 60 millimeter to 300 millimeter wave technology that is being installed all across America and all over this globe. The over 50,000 sat 5G 30 to 300 millimeter wave generating satellites that Elon Musk is launching into space, in which our government is allowing. The Federal Reserve, which was instituted in 1913, under false premises by Woodrow Wilson, to the Trilateral Commission's installment in 1920, to the Council on Foreign Relations, to the United Nations in 1940, to the destruction of the currency of the America from silver and gold to this fiat currency, from the miseducation and indoctrination of the global populace, right, under this colonialized misinformation and disinformation indoctrinational culture that we have all been brought up under for the past 100 years. You get me? To the watering down of our constitutional rights, which was produced by the mastermind of over 56 Freemasons and occultic followers, and also Christians and individuals that believed in the inalienable right of every human being on this planet, not just Americans, because they said Americans because they wanted to liberate this country, right? But of every human being on this planet to pursue life, liberty, and happiness without being hindered upon by any government. This watering down, right, to the mandatory vaccinations and the microchipping, i.e. the mark of the beast that this individual named Bill Gates and his Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and his millionaires and billionaires of globalists and technocratic elites that want to mark every human being and rob them of their humanity and of their privacy and of their liberty. Like, yo, all of this crazy shit that is scaring the fuck out of everybody today, that is driving everybody, like 99% of the human populace mad, crazy, and scared, and driven like into like drug addiction, disorders, diseases. Yo, this all has to do with us not following that message, by us violating those 7 hermetic principles. You feel me? Those 7 hermetic principles, by us going against those seven churches that we have in our body. You feel me? Those seven chakra points, those 7 churches, those 7 chakra points that balance out every aspect of ourselves, from our root chakra, you feel me? From being diligent and procrastination, through our sacral chakra, you right? Being masterful and chasteful rather than lust-filled, right? To our solar plexus chakra, right? Into our belly button, towards being charitable and giving and loving of others instead of being greedy and envious and all this other stuff. To our heart chakra, you feel me? The 4th, kindness, love, joy, compassion rather than envy and wrath. To our to being tempered, right? To like expressing not just love and joy, but also what we wish for ourselves and for others in this society, right? Instead of like just expressing hate and dishonesty, right? To our 3rd eye, where we have clarity and joy rather than envy and egotism. To our crown, our corona, nuestra corona, the crown chakra, vision, humility, clarity of purpose, visions, beautiful dreams, rather than envy and over pride and overindulgence in the wrong things. So like, yo, all these things, they all play a role. They're all interconnected. Just like all the bullshit that we see in the world, from the political corruption to the globalist technocratic plan for humanity, to micromanaging the food in the planet, all of that, there's all interconnected. And the sooner we utilize these times, these moments that we have, to be more mindful of ourselves and to be more mindful with these little people that we have around us, right? That's why she already knows about meditation. She knows about most of the chakras, and I don't even have to tell her read or go meditate. She does it by herself. Why? Because kids don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see you doing. So if they see you bullshitting all fucking day, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna BS themselves, and they're gonna try to BS you, because they're gonna try to BS you, and they're gonna BS themselves by doing that. You don't have to tell kids what to do that often. Just be an example of it. Just be the best example that you can have, and be the best kind of person that you can be, and do the best that you can do given what you have, given the circumstances, given your ability and your current own intellectual, spiritual, physical, and mental development. But do focus on these things. Do your best. You feel me? Do not take things personal. Do not assume that they know or that you know it all. And be impeccable with what you speak out into existence. There's a lot of wrong. There's a lot of reasons on why to like just, you know, why try. But you have to figure out, you have to come up with the answers on why you should try. You know, it could be for your moms, the one that has passed or the one that is still there to watch you grow and succeed. It could be for your father, your son, your daughter, your nieces, your nephews, your grandmother, your grandfather. It could be just for you or the kids that you wish to have. But whatever it is, yo, like really learn, like really look to those examples and utilize these 40 days of change that we have been granted, that we have been forced into because of our ignorance, so that when we come out of these days, we are a lot better prepared for whatever life has in store for us, because it's gonna have a lot. And if you hear this message 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now, I implore you to do the same. Work on developing yourself. And do not doubt that you can't reach this level that Jesus did. Hey, he did it, right? And he said that you can do it too. And he also said, don't fucking idolize me. He maybe didn't say it with those words that I use, right? That profanity. But he did say it. Don't idolize me. Don't idolize anything. Love God. Love no other God. For God is a jealous God. So love yourself first, so that you can understand who it is that you have to love. And not only love yourself, but love your neighbor as you love yourself as well. Because that was one of the commandments, I'm pretty sure. And you don't have to go to any church. You don't have to sit around with 20 other people and have one read what they think is the answer. I mean, if you want to do that, then that's on you. But like he said, however long ago, 2,000 or 6,000 years ago, you don't have to go to any church. You don't have to adopt any religion or take on the yoke of my father. You don't have to. And right now, what's coming about in this 2020, in this Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030, is a new religion, is a new global religion. And it will ask that you adopt it. And many people will. And they will be forever lost because they do not know what they are adopting. They're not aware. They don't lack the understanding and the comprehension to really like deeply understand what is about to happen, or what is in the process, or what may come if we continue to avoid listening to ourselves. The only way to avoid this harmony is by us as individuals focusing on ourselves and bringing ourselves into harmony with life and with nature. And collectively, eventually, us coming back into order with everything. All right? The not eating the meat, the meditating, the eating right, the practicing of mindful sex, appreciating everything that we have rather than treating it as if it doesn't matter, as if it has no value. I don't know what else to hit you guys on, man, on what topic to touch. I think for now, I'm good. Maybe I'll make another video later on. Possibly about to eat, you feel me? Maybe smoke a blunt and deal with my vices, gain whatever wisdom I am meant to gain from my vices and my shortcomings. And yeah, man. Yeah, y'all saw my little niece. You know how many uncles out there doing the wrong thing? But this is a conversation that not many people want to have. They don't want to listen to this shit because it makes them uncomfortable. The truth will make you uncomfortable. And these are things that go through my mind. I'm like, yo, if I wasn't as mindful, right? Or maybe if I had a kid and my brothers wasn't as mindful as they are today, who knows what could happen, right, in a family. But this is why I do the things that I do, so that I can not be lacking in the awareness and the wisdom necessary for me to act towards my mother as mindful as I can, because we can be very not mindful, so that I can act towards my nieces as mindful as I can, so that they can hug me and lay with me and not feel weird, or me not feeling weird because there are things in me that I haven't dealt with. Nah, man. Follow the examples of these individuals, as well as of this individuals and many that have followed his example, and your life will begin to make more sense. And the thoughts that you have, be them good or bad, clean or dirty as heck, pure or unpure, will begin to make sense. Your thoughts from your laziness to your sexual desires, to your greed, to your envy and your wrath and your anger and your pride, all these things will begin to make sense. Once you begin to be more mindful of yourself, you will understand why it is that you're prideful. Because if you're not proud in yourself, who is? Who's going to tell you, hey, good job, if you can't tell it to yourself? These vices are there for a purpose. You feel me? If you think that the devil is only evil, then you're very close-minded. Just as if you think that God is all good and all loving, you're very close-minded. Because God can be a vengeful God as well. He can be a wrathful God. And he could bring vengeance upon those that have crossed his path. Balance is everything. Not everybody has all the answers. I do not have all the freaking answers. But I am open. I do understand that I do not have all the answers, and therefore I seek more answers, and therefore I ask of God. And I hope that I asked for guidance before I came on and made this video, so that I can make it more in tune and in line with what the guiding intelligence of this universe wants out in existence to help with this whole creative process. I hope that I asked for that guidance. And I'm giving thanks for having had the opportunity to express all the wisdom that I have been granted and facilitated to express through all this technology that we have today. And I hope that this message reaches as many people as it needs to reach, that it may have the effect that it needs to have in the life of those that need it, so that we can bring about the creation of a more harmonious and utopian-like society, like those that we see in movies and that we see in pictures and in drawings, and that we so desire for in life for our children, right, and for their children's children. So, yo, man, I hope and pray and have faith that this message will get out there, and it will have the effect that it needs to have, just as those individuals have created content that has influenced me in the manner that it has influenced me. Because the way that I think, I haven't done this all by myself. There's a lot of information out there, and just being open to it is enough. Asking, wanting to change is enough for you to begin to change slowly and surely. Just have patience with yourself, and continue going towards that. All right. Other than that, I'm done. I guess. I love you motherfuckers. All of y'all. You feel me? Y'all gotta excuse my aggressivity. I am military trained, so my mindset is a little skewed. But hey, much love to all of y'all, and may you continue to enjoy and make the best of this 2020, of this BS quarantine, of this time to yourself, so that when you come out of this, whatever it is that you're in right now, you're a lot better prepared for the opportunities that life has in store for you, because life has many opportunities in store for all of us. We simply must take the time to really work on ourselves and develop ourselves so that we are ready for when these opportunities present themselves to us. Other than that, peace. Thank you for those that stuck around and watched to the end. This video will be on YouTube, and yeah, again, thank you. Have a great day.